Hi everyone, and welcome to the prototype phase for Packful. Here we are seeing a visual of the design thinking phases within Packful. We'll be walking through the activities of the prototype phase. Prototyping is the time when students will get experiential feedback from others and cycle between designing, building, and testing to continually rework and improve solutions until it meets the needs of their users. The prototype activities are divided into three categories: designing, building, and testing. Let's explore them now. There are three design activities. In activity 1, 2D model of a product, students create a 2D sketch of their product using digital graphic drawing software or paper and pencil. A product is a good that can be manufactured for use and/or sell. This activity will help students to visualize the different parts and features of their design. In Activity 2, 3D model of a product, students will create a three-dimensional model of their product using 3D design programs such as Tinkercad, Tilt Brush, and Google Blocks, or they can use craft materials. This activity helps them to not only visualize their product, but also get a feel of the length, height, and depth of it. In Activity 3, 2D model of a service, students will create a concept map, flowchart, or other type of diagram to organize their ideas for their service. Examples of services are public service announcements, campaigns, fundraisers, and more. Next, students should build a working model of their prototype. Packful provides 4 build-it activities for students. In Activity 4, Prototyping to Test, students are expected to build a small part of their idea and then add on to it. To clarify what a small part means, the activity identifies areas to address, including visual, empathy, space, and technology. Afterwards, they'll begin to plan out their prototype, begin building it, and then reflect on what they learned through the process. In Activity 5, Prototyping for Empathy, students will build based on empathy or putting themselves into the user's shoes. Then, they'll build a prototype focusing on the user and their needs, considering what will make the product most helpful for the user, what features do they think the user would deem most important, and will the user be able to operate the product? In Activity 6, Prototyping Another Idea, students will build onto an existing prototype by adding on features and enhancing the quality. They'll plan and sketch adjustments and improvements, then rebuild. Afterwards, they'll reflect on whether or not the improvements worked, added value, or any other thoughts to reconsider. In Activity 7, Prototyping a Service, students will create a service action plan using the template provided, thinking critically about the 5 W's and H, who, what, when, where, why, and how, to develop their ideas and gain feedback from an audience. In the final 3 activities, students will test their prototype on at least 3 to 5 people. In Activity 8, Test It, I Like, I Wish, What If, students will use the I like, I wish, what if method. This method frames the tester's feedback in a constructive manner, enabling an open discussion that leads to thoughtful iteration. Students record their feedback on a 3-column chart with the goal of reaching an optimal solution that addresses most of the user's needs. In Activity 9, Test It, Feedback Capture Grid, students will allow testers to spend time interacting with the prototype versus talking to the team about what it does. Here, students focus on listening to the feedback instead of responding or arguing. They'll record responses in a feedback capture grid with 4 quadrants labeled likes, criticisms, questions, and ideas. Afterwards, they'll identify key findings and top improvements to create their optimal solution. In Activity 10, Test It, Story, Share, and Capture, students reflect on the feedback received from previous test sessions. They'll collaborate with their teammates by sharing a couple of interesting and inspiring stories observed while testing the prototype. As they listen to each other, they'll write notes on sticky pads or virtual ones and then post them. They'll look for common threads and insights on the feedback that can translate into actionable next steps to improve the project. In the app, we have a list of helpful tech tools, including Stormboard, Pinup, and Cardsmith that students can use. Thank you for watching the Prototype Phase tutorial. Please follow us on Twitter at Packville App, join our Packville community, and subscribe to our YouTube Packville channel.